drops from the show. And good movie and the script.
Well, I mean, there's been some clunkers made by women, too.
Yes, that's true.
Whether this operate. Thank you.
Yes. That's what he says. She's scared. And she's not scared of me or you. She's scared of herself. She said, I don't know what I'll say on that show.
Well, that is true. She's a loose cannon.
She's a loose cannon. She goes, I have to learn to keep myself under control.
Yes. Because she's not under control.
Yeah. Good movie. And the script.
People turn it down.
Yeah. Well, good book. Yes, Kevin Hart will be here, a super successful comedian. He's going to come in and talk about lots of different things. The guy's got quite a background. What a life. We've had Kevin on before. Mm-hmm. He's out promoting something. What's he promoting? Yeah. A book. What is about his life? Yes. That's what he's here to talk about. And by the way, I'm glad to give him that.
You're giving him that title. You're giving it up.
I'm giving it away. Anyone who wants that title can take it. I've seen other people take it. I saw on Supergirl, Callista Flockhart calls herself the queen of all media. I was like, good. That's right. It's an homage to our show.
Oh, it's a shame nobody watches.
What's the typical? Oh, people watch that show. You stop it over there. You cut that out.
I'm just upset with Supergirl.
Supergirl is trying to protect the Earth. There's a lot of alien attacks.
Why is it, like I was thinking about this just a few minutes ago, because Wonder Woman was released this past weekend and cleaned up at the box office.
Have you seen it?
Major deal. No, I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either, but, I was reading about the director. They're making a big deal because Wonder Woman is a female superhero, and the woman directed this, and it's the first time a female
Penny
director.
Jenkins, I think her name is.
That's right. It's the first time. And, but I was reading an interview with her, and the reason it's a big success is the director, because she was really interested in telling a story with heart, and it worked. And I'm a big advocate of female directors. A woman directed my Private Parts, because I feel women are particularly sensitive to actually making a good movie and the script.
Well, I mean, there's been some clunkers made by women, too.
Yes, that's true. But Robin, go with me on this, because I find that a lot of men are experts before they're experts. Men want to be like me. I always wonder, I'm an expert in radio. I really wasn't, but I would tell people that.
Well, that is true. Boys will pretend they know things that they don't know.
Now you're talking. Now you're saying something everyone relates to. So anyway, this woman, when she was interviewed, she was talking about the story. And, I saw Baywatch, the movie.
Oh, God. That's what you watched?
That's right. What? You can't just watch hit movies. You got to watch the ones that don't do well. And I got to tell you something. It was a funny scene, but they needed a romance in it. They had all these sexless hot girls. They had good-looking dudes, but there was no romance. There was no story.
I'm so upset.
The people I'm proud of are the Wachowski brothers. They became women in order to become better directors.
They're now more sensitive, yeah.
They were good directors before, but now they're better. So there you go. That proves my whole point.
That's what more directors should be doing, becoming women.
But I'm anxious to see Wonder Woman. And
I am too.
The movie
but my thing was that it seems to me so far, because I remember I tried to think back to the Wonder Woman comic book, and the world was always in danger.
Yes.
She was always saving the world.
Well, yes. Wonder Woman is not going to be shown in Lebanon. Wonder Woman is not going to be shown in Lebanon because the woman is in Lebanon is banned the movie because they hate Jews. The world is never going to change. In fact, to my point that the world is never going to change. We called the angry political guy, and yes, we got your emails and texts and everything else about how much you guys love the angry political guy producing the show the other day. But I called into a show. Well, I didn't. It's my voice. They pulled drops from the show. And here, you'll see why the world will never change, Robin. This is just to back up my point.
All right. What do we got for you today? Hello, you 432.
Hi.
Who's this?
Gelman, how are you?
I'm pretty good, Gavin. Like the way you actually put your name out there, so I appreciate that.
Why are you so Jewish?
Because they're basically evil. They don't care about you.
Oh.
They are basically satanic.
Why are the Jews so cheap?
Because they control money. They know what money can do. It's okay to steal from the Goyim. It's okay to rape the Goyim women. It's okay to turn the Goyim women into their heritage, it's their race, their descendants.
Why are Jews so gassable?
They were never gassed.
Didn't we scare them by gassing 6 million of them?
It didn't happen. And this whole 6 million Jews gassed in World War II is bullshit.
You think everybody would have converted after that?
No Jews were gassed at all. The only gas for Jews was to kill the lice that the nasty fucking Jews were infested with.
Oh.
I'm telling you the same thing that Hitler did. I've known some good Jews. I'm really not a racist.
Right.
That's why they've been trying to stop me, because they're afraid I'll get the power that Hitler had.
I would breastfeed Hitler.
Yeah, okay.
I would love Hitler.
Don't fucking ruin it, man. You've been a good caller.
I would fuck Hitler in the end.
I don't like that. Doesn't turn me on. Doesn't please me. Makes me think you're just stupid as a motherfucker.
No, but seriously, I would feed Hitler. My shit.
Hey, motherfucker, you understand that?
Have you ever eaten black egg? Forget I get an orgasm.
Fuck that, and fuck you. I used to think you were all right, and now I think you're an ignorant motherfucker. Goodbye. And don't come on my show again, you ignorant son of a bitch. Sorry you turned out to be an asshole.
By the way, that's Mel Gibson's favorite prank call. I don't know if you know
my
that.
goodness. And you played that to show that the world will never change.
The world will never change. And that was a call
That
from
guy is not the world.
that was a call from Gelman. Proudly gave his name.
He congratulated you for stepping right up there and giving Gelman's name.
Angry political guys on the phone. Wow, that was some call.
You know, you started off so good. Why are Jews so Jewy? I mean, that's a great question.
The first 3 questions were good, right? Why are the
You
Jews?
followed it up, why are Jews so big-nosed? You like that one?
Right.
It's a great one.
You know,
We were sparking up with all that queer.
He's going to beat you up because you were disrespecting the man.
because I said I would blow Hitler.
They never gassed anyone.
Right. All right. Well, we got it. And by the way, I will say this. Thank you for producing the show the other
Where
day.
did they get on those bodies if nobody was ever dead?
No, they never gassed anyone.
Robbie,
Never happened.
he's going to have a heart attack.
Once in his bunker, that's it.
By the way, I should read you some of the positive email you got.
Yeah, you are getting good email.
You are getting good email. People do like you. Where the hell is it? God, it's a whole bunch of stuff.
Can't find it now.
I think somebody burned it.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
They didn't burn any fucking Jews, I can tell you that.
It says here, angry political guy impression is funny. Love the prank calls to the real guy, too. Love angry political guy. Thank you for this, Jim. Angry political guy filling in for Gary is epic. So we're going to have you back.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. If you wanted a quality product, sure.
The show was better. The show was
Of
better.
course it was.
I had a lot of Jews stuff I was going to do.
We was in your show.
All right, thank you very much. What's worse? Answer this. What's worse, Jew or dead? Just blew his mind.
Yeah, circuits are front.
You go. All right,
Wrestle with that one for a while.
Troll. say good morning to Apples. Apples, go ahead in South Carolina.
Hey, Howard. How you doing?
Hello. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? A lot of people wrote me, said they now have that song in their head and they hate me for it.
Oh,
Because
it's you singing it. It's not Chris Cornell.
Yeah, well, by the way, Guns N' Roses, who they did a fantastic tribute to Chris Cornell. See if I have that somewhere. I don't know if this will translate well. I was watching this on the internet, and it's some guy recording it with his phone. And this was their Black Hole Sun. And I'll tell you, Axl Rose could still sing. See, it doesn't sound good.
No, I was going to say, I don't
You got to see it. You know what I mean?
quite get it.
Because you're listening over some troll's phone.
If you're going to record something, could you record it decently?
Yeah, can you bring some decent equipment with proper modulation? All right, go ahead, Apple.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What did you think? Did you see Bill Maher with his old N-word scandal?
A couple of scandals that broke with comedians. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Bill Maher, Kathy Griffin, like, people are losing their mind over
Fred,
that.
spin the wheel. Let's see if it lands on Bill Maher or Kathy Griffin, and that's what we'll go with first. Spin the wheel. Go ahead, and whoever it stops on, I'll talk about first. Gotta find my wheel. All right, take your time.
He lost his wheel.
We're dragging the wheel out of the closet.
It was right in front of me. I didn't see it.
Round and round she goes. Will it be Bill Maher? Will it be Kathy Griffin? Who will we learn about? Don't you? Get the shittiest sound effect. Oh my God! It landed on Mom's Mabley. Who wants to hear about her?
What controversy did she have recently?
I was in a deli this weekend, and the behind the counter was excited to see me and said, "Oh, aren't you that guy from America's Got Talent?" And I thought, should I cop to that? Should I tell her I'm no longer on the show? Weird. It's for talent.
Why is that? You
Well, yeah, but that's the last probably thing. If I look back on my life, if I was on my deathbed, I think I'd probably forget that I was on American Got Talent.
You don't want that on your tombstone.
Right, so it was fine to do.
So much like.
What?
I don't too much like America's Got Talent. I don't like.
Well, it's like asking Paul McCartney, aren't you that guy from Wings? And I like Wings, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Wings is fine.
Yeah, but you want to be the guy. Anyway, so you don't have a sound effect where fuck that. I'll talk about Bill Maher since Apple's talking about that. First of all, there's a lot of things you can say. Now, number one, Bill Maher and I are in some sort of weird little tiff. Bill Maher got angry with me because the last time he said something controversial and got thrown off ABC, I disagreed with him. I didn't back him up. He had said something about the terrorists not being cowards who flew into the World Trade Center, and I thought that was in poor taste. And I said, so, I don't know if that's the reason, but whatever.
But we did notice that
which I seem to be doing well without Bill Maher's endorsement. But I like Bill a lot. I watch his show regularly.
yeah, I do. I like his show very much.
I watch him on HBO. And, Bill is not a likable guy. In other words, there are certain celebrities that people just adore. Bill's not one of those. As much as I'm a fan of Bill, he's a tremendous stand-up comic. I told you I knew his dad. That was a tremendous guy. Very nice guy. Worked with him at NBC. But Bill's like one of those guys that kind of, I don't know, he's just not something that likable to some people. Or what, he's not beloved.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm about to
I didn't know that.
I'm making I did a survey. No, but he's just one of those guys, he's a little bit arrogant and all this, but it works for him. He's Bill Maher. And I believe he colors his hair somewhat. It's weird.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's in the beginning, he's kind of letting it go back. Letting it go back. Yeah. Now, I don't like that. You know what I mean? So anyway, Nebraska, pretty bright guy, Republican type. And the Republican senator says to Bill Maher, you must come to Nebraska. We'll get you working in the fields, whatever the fuck that means. And Bill Maher said, the field? I don't work in the field. I'm a house nigger. Uses the N. Now, I wasn't watching the show live. The show is on live. But I watch it, I DVR his show. So I already knew that this was coming up, and I knew it was controversial, and I knew a lot of people are upset. And some people, I believe Chance the Rapper and some others, have already called for HBO to fire Bill Maher over this comment. And so for me, watching it was like watching the Zapruder film. I knew it was coming. And
You already saw the assassination. You knew the assassination happened.
I knew the assassination was coming. And then when he said it, I went, ooh. I was like, ooh. And then I replayed it in slow motion. It was like, oh. And I'm like, oh.
Like the Zapruder film, backwards, forwards, and
if in watching it, and when it was not even funny, it was cringeworthy. And you know what? White guys using the N-word, it just doesn't work. I don't care how many black chicks you fucked. I don't care how many times you said Black Lives Matter. You can't use the N-word. It's not for you. And it's frustrating to a lot of white comics because black comics get a lot of great mileage out of it. They know how to make that funny, but it's their work. You want to use that, just know there's going to be backlash. But here's what I want to say about this particular controversy. I can't sit here and tell you whether Bill Maher is a racist or not. Can't, because you never know what's in someone's heart. I know when I hear some fucknut talk about Jews and say something, derogatory, like that fuck Roger Waters from the fucking shithead fucking Pink Floyd. When I hear his bullshit about Israel, it makes me fucking angry. I want him fired.
but at least he's not telling a joke.
Right. Man, listening to Bill Maher drop the N-word. So,
Feels the same way, even if you're the same color.
right. But listen to what I have to say about this, Robin, and tell me what you think. So I can't tell you whether or not Bill Maher is a racist. I can't tell you whether or not anyone is a racist. You only know that deep down in your heart.
Oh, I can tell.
Well, she can, that's true. But here's the thing. Bill Maher, and some people are calling for him to be fired from it. But let me say something. First of all, Bill Maher is a funny guy. And he is working live. That show is completely live. And as somebody who worked
What? 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 What?
I'm pressing 1 now. To make a select call to a mobile phone or landline phone, dial 2 now. You are welcome. Call your mobile carrier or any other phone number or to the policy by pressing 1 now. To make a select call to a mobile phone or a landline phone, dial 2 now. You are welcome. To call your mobile carrier or any other phone number or to the policy by pressing 1 now. To make a collect call to a mobile phone or a landline phone, dial 2 now.
You loving on me? Are you loving on me? Are you loving? Are you a lover?
works live. I will say things after the show is probably the worst fucking half hour to hour of my life. I sit there and review. I do 4 hours of nonstop talking, trying to entertain my audience. And there are times I say stuff, and I go, why the fuck did I just open that up? Why did I say this? Or why did I say that?
And when you're live on the air, it's a split-second decision.
It is. It is very difficult. Trying to be funny. Now, Bill Maher's track record is things he makes. He's a very intelligent guy, very funny guy. I think he has a pretty good track record of defending people who are considered second-class citizens in our society. By that, I mean people who've been downtrodden. You know, people who are treated like second-class citizens, like black people. And he's defended a lot of people. And I mean, I've heard the guy say lots of things that indicate to me that he's not Mel Gibson running around screaming at women and calling them the N-word and dragging them down the step or something like that, or whatever the hell Mel Gibson does. This is not a guy who's going around throwing around the N-word. I think he was really sincerely trying to be funny, and he went a bit far. I don't think it was funny. I don't think he should have done it, but he was working live, and I don't think that this guy has a history of really being a racist asshole or a person who has animosity publicly anyway towards racial groups and things like this. So I would hate to see him get fired. And I think that was the symbol of the firing is wrong. I think he's done a lot of good. He is a voice that's important, and he's funny. And
well, you know what my thing is? This oversensitivity. Nobody analyzes what happened.
Right.
They just said he used the N-word.
That's right. You know,
and it's ridiculous. Everything is not the same.
Everything isn't the same. You know, when Imus said nappy-headed hose, I didn't defend him. And certainly people would have expected me to defend him because he's on the radio and I'm on the radio. And we fuck up from time to time. But I knew Imus personally. And I don't hate Imus, but I saw him do something, say something to a black woman behind the scenes, off the air, which indicated to me that he was a racist. And I came down on him real hard. So there was a history. With Bill Maher, I can sincerely tell you, I don't know if the guy's a racist, but I think he was trying to be funny. I don't think it reflects his views that he's some sort of racist. It was in poor taste and he did the wrong thing. So I hope they don't fire Bill Maher. I hope they keep him on the air. I think you should.
They haven't said anything. No.
I apologize. You should stay on the air. Now, Kathy Griffin, that's a whole other story. Kathy Griffin, I know for a long time. I like Kathy. I think she's a good guest on this show. And Kathy Griffin posed for a picture where she's holding a likeness of Donald Trump's head, like Chucky more than it did Donald Trump.
Well, it's hard to get a good fake head.
Short note. It was short notice. And so, okay, and the head was covered in blood, and it was her statement on saying, to Kelly, or whatever, Kelly, Megyn Kelly, whatever. And it was her statement on Megyn Kelly and blood everywhere. You know the whole story. I got to tell you this story. Read a fucking paper. You troll. So, goddamn troll. So, Kathy Griffin, the first apology she did without me. I didn't know it was Kathy Griffin. That's how shocking it was.
I thought it was a story about battered women.
I thought they sent someone over to beat her up. Now, it was like apology for no makeup. Like, why for an apology wouldn't Kathy wears makeup all the time?
Even was that a wig? I don't know what was going on with that. It was like very strange.
Well, I was like, I don't think that's Kathy Griffin. I've been in the same room with that woman. But I guess she wanted to show she was sincere. So she decided not to wear makeup. This was crazy.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what the backstory was. Like, she just rolled out of bed and decided to apologize.
And I'll tell you what, I think that's enough of an apology. That was scarier than the severed head. I mean, I don't know what she was thinking there. So anyway, I'm watching the apology, and I went, okay. So she said she went. Who even knew it was still up?
When they said they fired her, you
don't give her 10 cents for that part. So they fired her from CNN, and Squatty Potty, unbeknownst to me, has hired her as a spokesperson. And you know I love Squatty Potty. It's a great product. But Jesus Christ, if Squatty Potty fires you, it's hardly a backlash.
I mean, really, when you're dumped by Squatty Potty, how much of a career do you have?
Do you know how many? I mean, it's embarrassing. She was fired from Squatty Potty. When I'm watching these news reports and they're saying she's fired from Squatty Potty, I go, could you keep that quiet? I didn't want anyone to know I was endorsing Squatty Potty. I mean, what the fuck? I said, that's the extent? I mean, first of all, this is a woman who has her own audience. She goes around the country. She does shows. Well, she must have gotten into a panic that CNN fired her and that Squatty Potty fired her. Although I hear Liquid Ass is thinking of picking her up. But so she comes out with a lawyer and holds a press conference. She's in there with the press conference. She's in there with the attorney. Second, she's crying and she's in a panic. I wanted to say, listen, Jane Fonda during the Vietnam War went over and hung out with the Viet Cong, and she's been criticized for that a million times.
Till today,
till today. What she was, yeah, that's right. But what she was trying to do is say, these people aren't our enemy. Why are our young boys going over there? These people are like, they're just trying to get some rice in their bellies. What are we doing over there? And I actually thought Jane Fonda was brave to do that because she actually saved lives of my brothers in America.
Not only that,
she
put her career on the line.
That's right.
She could have never worked again.
So Kathy Griffin is anti-Trump. And if you're anti-Trump, she happens to believe that this is a very dangerous time for America. She should have said, listen, I made a shocking statement. I'm trying to create a dialogue. Some people are going to disagree with it. But you would have thought that Trump's, it was a picture. But fine. It's really not. It's a picture and it's a statement saying, you know, here's the guy who said I grab women by their pussies, and Kathy Griffin saying, well, I'm going to shock you back. And she should have said, look, I apologize to those who think I went too far. I'm trying to start a dialogue, and I'm trying to shock someone into saying, what the fuck is going on? But she held this press conference, and she should have doubled down. She should have held the head up at the press conference. Said, here, he's back again. Because it's ridiculous. She didn't kill the president. Then I said, the FBI is going to investigate her. What? Investigate what? Holding up a fucking doll? Everybody on the fucking threat. It's a threat? I don't know what everyone
modern adult happy. I mean, they're young girls want something, but decide not to.
I expected it to go away. When they started bringing it up on, you know, these panel talk shows, because we don't have anything else to talk about. Are we seriously talking about Kathy Griffin?
Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent? Then he play guitar.
Is it cat scratch fever, whatever?
I thought it was over the line, but I was like, I'm not gonna.
Why dignify it with any real discussion?
Exactly.
If it's stupid, ignore it.
And Kathy Griffin should say, listen, I did this. I'm sorry to offend you.
Into separate worlds. What is this sacrifice? It's your sacrifice.
She should have just actually started talking. It's like a puppet. She should have talking again. I mean, Do you think that Trump
You are living. Intercept the red world. And it's not sad.
Supervise that kid. He shouldn't be on.
Nobody's seen Barron. How did he see that picture?
That's right. But I'll tell you what they should do, what CNN should do now that they don't have Kathy Griffin. The head should be Anderson Cooper's new co-host on New Year's Eve. What do you think of that? Talk about rating. The head comes out.
Well, I tuned in to watch. I never saw more weeping and crying in my life.
Oh, my God.
I didn't know Kathy Griffin was so important.
But listen, it's a shocking image, of course. But stop. And she's got to get a fucking grip on herself.
But what they were doing, this all became this huge thing. It's an attack on the president's family. When have you ever heard of people attacking the president's family? I was like, wait a minute, is this Fox I'm listening to?
Right.
Didn't they attack Obama and Michelle and everybody else they could think of?
Listen,
They've all of a sudden forgotten.
This is politics. It is a disturbing image, but that's what people do when they protest. There's lots of disturbing image. For me, it is. But I mean, it's fine. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
There you go.
that's when you get into trouble.
And after the first apology that she did, and wear makeup when you apologize.
Go away.
Now, I was reading that Marilyn Manson and the Band Noir were pissed because they put out Trump beheading videos long before Kathy. They were like, what? Nobody gave a shit. Oh, for Christ's sakes. You know, we got a world now, you know, where there's so much turmoil, so many problems, and there's so much going on. I mean,
Well, that's what I said. What, really? We're going to spend time on this? We're still trying to determine if there's something called climate change.
that's offensive to me. So anyway, so Bill Maher should keep his job. And Kathy
And
Griffin.
Kathy should keep Squatty Potty.
Forget Squatty Potty. Don't ever bring that up again. Because, you know, in terms of, you know, this girl's been on the scene for a long time.
Really quiet until they fire.
Well, this is an announcement, actually. This is straight from is now going to be the spokesperson for Squatty Potty. There's going to be a series of commercials on the internet. The head is talking about Squatty Potty.
Nobody even wanted to say what that endorsement was for. I was like, wait a minute, that picture flashed by too fast.
And the bloody Trump head is going to be the first guest Bill Maher interviews when he comes back. I mean, my God, we're all insane. Everybody take a deep breath and calm the fuck down. There's a lot of going on here. People are lawyering up with their head, their bloody head.
And why should you be any exception? You trying to get a prize. Your spans off here. These audience go. And why should you be any exception?
When you come out with your lawyer, oh shit, is she really in that much hot water?
Does she have to leave the country? She's fighting an immigration deportation.
He's dating Jennifer Lawrence.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, for crying out loud. And, you know, it's some photographer.
Well, did you see they had this video of the making of this picture.
Listen, get some good special effects in there.
Which just goes to show you it wasn't that well planned out or thought out. But they're talking about how this is going to be so shocking it could end their careers.
Yes,
in this making of video.
Gene, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Why did she decapitate Trump? This is craziness.
What is that?
Why did she cut Trump's head off?
The Gene thinks they actually cut Trump's head off. That's why Kathy Griffin's going to go to jail for that.
She got out of jail. This is
She does
horrible.
need a lawyer.
Gene, it was a fake. In fact, the head has a development deal with Fox Television.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. All right. You calm down.
was all show business. The guy really, no head was cut off.
Right. No activity going on. But I'm just trying to figure out because Kevin Hart's going to be here in a couple of minutes. I gotta work out our schedule here, Ross.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's a lot of planning that goes into this.
You haven't done this in a while. Maybe you're a little rusty.
I'm a little rusty.
You know,
I've been doing this.
get home. You know, I sound old.
Right. All right, we'll be
But
right
they
back.
have to shut down my freeway for an hour to pull this token.
Reporting from Broadway Coast. What's the longest snow you
Doing
can hold?
dynamite at these guys. Going to Pep Boys right now to load up. I get home, try to go on a peaceful walk. Naturally, there's a jackhammer going last night. No luck. Trying to get to my 80s tune. Get it, guy. Get that. Video Music Awards are tonight. Ariana Grande laying out her 53,000 cents of patties on the bed. Which one's the right look?
You found the guitar, and the guitar distracted you so
I
much.
need to get a cool look down for literally every single photo. I've never seen it. Stuff. I can't pull it off.
What is it?
Jackhammers and installers, that's all it is. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
but
These are
they're
nice.
in the street.
Yeah,
What
this
is
is
fucking
something.
bird?
Blue microphones and headphones.
There's a guy.
For 20 years,
Car
many of
coming.
the
You'll
world's
never hear
greatest
it.
musicians have used blue
Mikey
microphones.
Myers is aging well. It's good to see the old
And
SNL
now Blue
guys.
has made wireless headphones that bring the sonic truth to your ears.
Where did you take me?
It's the highest rated restaurant in the country.
Blue
It's the menu.
It's a fucking paperback.
It's ironic.
Because it's so pretentious.
You just hear details. Blue satellite.
Blank, blank.
Combine Blue's legendary sound
Blank.
with a new kind of active noise
Oh, that's blank,
cancellation.
blank.
They think it's rid of noise but doesn't mess with the music.
The plates are paper bags too.
Together with cleaning wireless and Blue satellite headphones set a new benchmark.
She's so
And
upset.
wireless design so you can hear more of your
Mine came on a plate. You're making a mess, so.
Choose from the satellite.
Why are you making a mess? Oh, that's good.
You'll love it.
Jenny nail machine is so
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Does your nail artist nail machine look like this?
Mr. Tommy John.
I don't fucking think
I'm
so.
thinking of legally changing my name to Tommy John. That's how much I love that product. Now, here's my idea for your dad on Father's Day. Surprise him with upgraded underpants. Yeah, that's not my kidding you. Change the man's life. You know Tommy John. They're the
Had a hard day
revolutionary
at
men's
work,
underwear
man.
company you've heard
Not
so much
wait
about.
till
They guarantee no wedgies, no bunching, and no riding up. Tommy John
Bon
also
appetit,
guarantees
you know, all right.
the most comfortable look. Wear or it's free. Tommy John has all kinds of styles and every leg, length, and softest, lightest. And it's just remarkable. I wear it every day. I wear their socks every day. I wear their t-shirts every day. I love it. Your dad's gonna no adjustment needed. It's a Father's Day gift set. TommyJohn.com. Use code 100. Use code 100 at TommyJohn.com. All right, there you go. Still hear that water sound effect. Anyone else hear that? I'll fix it. Yeah, there it is. All right. You want another phony phone call? Oh, what happened to my phony phone call? It's gone. Wait. Hold on a second. I got a good one here for you. Some of the guys took my voice. Maybe I'll play this later. Yeah, okay. I'll play your phone. Let me save the phony phone call for later. Let me see if I can get a couple of people on the phone. Let's go to Betsy. Betsy, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
be on with you. I just wanted to watch The Bachelorette last week.
Of course I watched it, and Kutchlow hit him with the high. Actually said hit him with the hind. Hit him with the high. They said it twice. It was a great honor.
It was awesome. I was sad you guys weren't on the next day to talk about it.
I do have it. It goes by quick. Here, I'll play it.
I'm still not convinced you really want Lucas to be your baby's father.
I feel like Ashton Kutcher should give us a wahoo.
Hit him with high. What?
A wahoo.
I don't even know what that was.
There's a guy in the back of his thing is he says wahoo. He's trying to get something started with the word wahoo. And Ashton Kutcher said wahoo. Never mind wahoo. Hit him with the hind is my slogan. There you go. Thank you, Betsy.
You're welcome. Thanks.
We will honor that slogan. There you go. Thank you, Betsy.
You're welcome. Thanks.
We will honor Ashton Kutcher in a couple of weeks. He'll come in and we're going to make a big ceremony about him using hit him with a hind. We like that. By the way, I do want to mention a special birthday shout out to Beetlejuice. Who knows how old? No guesses? Happy 49th birthday, Beetlejuice.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. 49, 49 years young. Don't you think he was in his 20s the way he behaved?
Beetlejuice is going to be 50 at some point.
That's right.
Oh, this Beetle.
I'm a singing motherfucker. Oh yeah, you my bitch.
And speaking of singing, let's promote Robin's new album.
K-Tel presents a once-in-a-lifetime collection. Robin Quivers sings every song ever recorded, including Rock.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Wicked. With Vicky. Puff the magic dragon.
Country.
There's a tear in my beer.
Patriotic.
And our flag was too red.
Hip-hop.
Face down, ass up. That's the way we like to pop.
That's right. Robin Quivers' single song ever recorded.
The wheels on the bus to be an Oscar Mayer.
Order today, and you'll receive one CD each week for the rest of your fucking life. No matter how much you beg us to stop.
Good for you, Robin. That's available now. I love it. She records every song ever recorded. She's not missed one. Yes, Ryan, you're on the air in Maine. Ryan from Maine.
You know, Howard, I would totally buy that album from Robin. If you guys put it out there, I'll buy a couple.
They say it's going to be the biggest album of all time.
I believe it. Hey, Howard, listen, I don't think you're being entirely fair with this Kathy Griffin, Bill Mayer thing, and I'll tell you why. Bill Mayer, I think he sees himself as a satirist. Mark, of course. I think he sees himself as a satirist. He put the A on the end of the N-word, right? He thought he was being funny. He failed at it. Griffin does this thing with the... But it was much more violent. It was gross. It
It's not funny. It was funny. But what do you disagree with what I said? I said Bill Maher should have his job. I told you he worked. What are you talking about, Ryan?
Howard, you're carrying the water for Kathy Griffin, giving her a pass on this.
Wait a second. She lost Squatty Potty. How much more punishment should there be?
I don't care about her.
And I'm saying Bill Maher should take
the pushback that she gets. She really deserves it because she loves to push buttons. I think she thought.
I wish I had that Trump hat. I would throw it at you, Ryan. You annoy the fuck out of me. Come on. You motherfucker. What is he talking about? Just talking to talk. I told you. It's an offensive picture, but she did it. She did it as a protest. She should own it. That's it. Why did I come back here? I was on vacation.
Nobody was funding you.
Oh, it was great. I did nothing but sit and stare at the wall. It was raining the whole weekend. I was so happy to go outside.
You'll get it.
Yeah. Can't believe summer's coming. I'm going to have to go outside. But I might run into people.
I understand that for everybody. And, I have this never-ending visual. When you used to live on Long Island,
Yes.
And I'd come to your house every once in a while, and I'd walk around the neighborhood. And there were a couple of people who put their parents, their elderly parents, right in the garage.
Yes.
At the door.
Yeah.
And you see them looking out of the garage at life out.
Nothing wrong with it. Besides, summer's here. My beach body isn't ready yet.
No.
I'm not in any kind of shape. I got to get ready.
What are you going to do?
Oh my God! I'm going to hit those weights. I'm going to bench 90 pounds 10 times. I'm going to be awesome.
Wow.
Speaking of awesome, Kevin Hart is waiting. I'm going to take a break, and then we're going to talk to Kevin. I'm going to ask him many things. We're going to learn about the life of a successful comedian. That's right. He's got plenty to say, I'm sure. But first, something important about Blinds.com. You're like, what's that?
I love Blinds.com.
Yeah, Robin loves it. She's going to marry Blinds.com. Freshen up your home with brand new custom blinds from Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes buying blinds fun. Shades and drapes. Yep, and it's affordable and easy. They provide a free online design consultation. Just send them pictures of your house and they send back custom recommendations from a professional. They'll
Do you
even
realize the windows of your home are like the eyes of the human being?
Yeah.
They are your soul.
You know who loves Blinds.com? That head that Kathy Griffin hung up.
I'm trying to get an endorsement deal that I could do if I ever had this up.
They'll even send you free samples to make sure everything looks as good in person as it does online. Blinds.com, free online design consultation, free samples, free shipping out the door. Plus, if you accidentally mismeasure or pick up the wrong thing, so reasonable, so great. Blinds.com makes it all also treating you at the sucks. You gotta go to Blinds.com. And now through June 21, get 20% off. All over their website at Blinds.com when you use promo code 100. Blinds.com, go check it out. Promo code 100, 20% off site-wide. But only through June 21st. Blinds.com, promo code 100. Rules and restrictions do apply.
Meanwhile, in the Stern Show bathroom. Careful, Benji. I'm sure. Howard Stern Show. Get ready for in-depth analysis during the post-game show that has nothing to do with sports and everything to do with Howard Stern.
The Howard Stern Wrap-Up Show with your hosts, John Hine and Gary Delamonte, live every day on the show.
Hello. You don't know where to post your job to find the best candidates. Well, I told you before, I'll tell you again, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. You can post your job to 100 plus job sites with just one click. Their powerful technology efficiently matches the right people to your job. And that's why ZipRecruiter is different, unlike other job sites. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you, it finds them. ZipRecruiter says that over 80% of jobs posted on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just 24 hours. Not bad. No juggling emails and calls to your office. Simply screen, rate, and match candidates all in one place with ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use dashboard. Now find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/100, ZipRecruiter.com/100. One more time to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/100. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It's fun.
Now, Stephen Colbert on the Today Show.
We're saying right here?
Yeah.
Up next. Oh, do you Twitter? Tweet?
I have wanted.
Tweet? Oh my gosh. Well, actually, so have I. Okay, we're going to check out the latest computer craze right after this.
The Howard Stern Show.
Robin, hey, my nights here was a very serious Memorial Day. I'm a big believer in supporting all of them. And what the troops want is for me to eat your pussy. So do your patriotic duty. Spread those news and let me in. Memorial Day, a lot of people already forgot. And while they're not going to matter, the only thing I want to be eating is that beautiful black puss. You know, Robin, I'm chasing you with the Allied troops through Europe. I'm going to make your pussy wetter than the shores of Iwo Jima.
You're on with Amanda and Sam.
I suffer from agita, and to help
How did you fall? Yeah, very well, yeah.
unfortunately, my neighbors keep complaining about them, and I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that.
I'm sitting over here and I'm thinking people are complaining about wind chimes.
They're very pretty. You know, those are very soothing.
I think I'm really
The wind chimes are kind of going crazy. The wind chimes.
Yeah, they have really good pitch to them. They are loud with the wind, but they're good for you. I bring them inside and keep them around and so the people don't complain. That's a great idea.
How many do you have out there?
She's wondering how many you have out there.
Do what?
Maybe Nancy, you can hear us better. They're beautiful.
What? I can't hear you. Say what?
Now, they're all loud. Have to move away from them so he can hear us. I think they're very pretty. I think if he brought them inside, there's probably not a whole lot out there. It sounds like he's really into energy balancing and very beautiful. I think this guy is great. And we can try again and see where he's at, and then we might have to move to another caller, but I'll see if he's moved away. And if not, let's see if he... Okay. I'm glad he enjoys them, and I know that's really helping him heal a lot.
They've got to be pretty good size for them to put on that much of a thing to them.
You know, maybe we can think about bringing them inside, or
It's got to be pretty big.
our last caller is area code 201. You're on the line with Amanda and Sandra. How are you? Okay, that was our last caller. Thank you for coming on. We're going to go ahead and end the show. It's been wonderful.
Have a blessed day to everybody.
My name is John Hunt. I'm
Summertime,
yes, sir.
and sometimes he
Process for when I'm gonna drink.
chilly dark, and a mountain of pride.
World's most wanted. Get stuck.
Will make no fear, and a burger with heart.
What a burger.
Eyes do not reach to die.
Don't forget the horses sauce.
song. By the way, Kevin Hart, I think, is the most successful, highest-earning comedian in the country right now. His movies. You know, you're the most successful guy in the business right now, I think. When we think about it, right, Kevin? Who's more successful than you in comedy or an actor?
Oh, man, that's people out there.
Who is more successful than you?
I don't know. How do I get into those schematics?
Listen to this.
Stop it.
Never mind schematics. Listen to this. Since 2013, your movies have earned over $3.5 billion fucking dollars.
This is true.
Isn't that something?
This is true.
Would you have believed when you were a kid? You know, with your new book, Kevin's got a new book out. I can't make this shit up. You really can't. How you didn't end up in jail or worse? It's crazy based on your mother and father, especially your dad.
Thank you.
I mean, we're going to talk about this, but really, it is remarkable when somebody beats the odds and becomes this successful. It's a reason to celebrate.
You know what? I mean, of course, there's a reason to celebrate, but I think you celebrate when you're done.
What do you mean?
I'm nowhere near done. I think I got a lot more left to do. The goals still have not been completed. You know, I got dreams and aspirations.
What other dreams do you have? Be a mobile. Really?
A mobile, man.
Well, when you say mobile,
What does that mean?
What do we get into the definition of a mobile? I love this type of talk. Mobile. A man that stands on a brand that he created, that he built, and that brand has become so big that businesses are businesses because of that brand.
in other words, not only to be in movies, but maybe produce them and
already doing that.
But don't you have to be careful because some of these guys in show business, women too, who become, you know, they want to be mobile, so they start grabbing too much. They'll put out, you know, every fucking line of clothing.
You can't become a NASCAR. When I say NASCAR, I mean, you can't. What I have is dope. I got authenticity behind it.
Right.
You know, I don't think I do anything that doesn't coincide with my lifestyle. Ultimately, that's my brand. So I'm not going to attach myself to anything that people wouldn't believe is part of what I do. So when you talk about, you know, my relationships, my business relationships, you know, I got tons of them. I know you, Tommy John, you've been talking about Tommy John for a long time. I was a fan of Tommy John forever. I went and I talked to him and I said, look, I want to invest in your product. Let me be an owner in it. And then get an investor. Yes.
Are you an owner?
I'm an owner in Tommy John. See, these are things that people don't know. These are calculated movements, but this is about the business behind the brand.
Would you believe in the product?
I believe in the product.
See, I believe in the product, but I don't own anything.
Listen, I love the product. I was head over heels about the product to the point where I went and found it. Like, I want to sit down and talk to you, man. I only wear good underwear.
Do you have time for all this? In other words, I would think, you've even said, it takes you a good year to put together a comedy special. You know, because once you put out a comedy special, you can't use that same material. Even for you at this point where you've got no material, you got to go out on stage and then create, because you say your process is you create on stage.
Yes.
You literally go out with no material. You have some idea what you're going to talk about. And
bullet points.
Yeah, bullet points. And you see where it goes.
I mean, for me, I think you have to go to ground zero after doing a special.
Right.
You know, right now, I've done 5 stand-up specials, and I've had amazing success with all of them. Amazing. I keep raising the bar for me. Yeah. I'm my own competition. I don't compete against anybody else. I'm not looking at what others are doing. I'm trying to become the best version of myself time after time.
Is that really true? Well, like I was watching Chappelle's special, and Chappelle gave you like the ultimate compliment. I think Chris Rock did too. They were like, Chris Rock said, "My kids don't think I'm cool. They want to meet Kevin Hart. They think he's funny." Is that when you're sitting and watching that kind of stuff go on? Do you pinch yourself and say, "Man, I cannot"? I mean, I get the chills just saying that. I mean, these two great
compliment that you can be given, but you know, I'm also a student of the game. So regardless of my accomplishments, I'm able to do the things I'm doing because of the doors that they open.
But do you ever sit there when you watch, I don't know, let's say you watch Seinfeld or one of these guys, and do you say to yourself, shit, I wish I'd written that joke. I wish I.
Oh, all the time.
You get jealous.
All the time. You should. And I think that's a
they
compliment
said
to the writing.
that they can't look at my car until Friday.
Well, as you take it to speedy muffler, they do brakes. Whether it be cheaper or more expensive.
Use that.
They might not do the sensor thing. That's done in the mystery just before 52. Yeah. And it's the speeding up.
Where is it? Mill Street.
Just went out South Street to Mill Street. Go to 53 and turn into the mall.
How long does it take to
do bricks? If they get you in, it doesn't take that long. If you want to see that from other times. Check and see what's there.
wedding? It's complicated. My poor bride is not prepared for this traditional wedding ceremony.
Yeah, Monroe it is, I guess.
Thanks. Wants to do.
You got one.
Isn't this it? Yeah, I got the number. You want to look at it? Should we just call?
Well, I want to make sure it's the one I'm talking about.
It's Norwell.
Shouldn't be Norwell. It would be in Hanover.
Press 1. Is there something wrong with my phone? Press 1 when it's a local call. Peter asks me every time, do I press 1 before I call your number? And then every time he always asks that. I'm like, I think you always press 1. But what the fuck? My phone's not working. Ugh.
mean, Dave Chappelle, I can give you a story about Dave Chappelle, me, Chris Rock. I told Chris Rock I was going to the Comedy Summit here in New York. He said, I'm going to come down. I said, Chris, I'm working on some stuff. Come down. I want to know what you think. We're close, and we always give each other opinions on what we're doing and where we feel this can go or that can go. Just punch up. So he comes down. He's like, oh, my God, Kev, funny. I said, you going up? He said, yeah, I'm going to try some stuff out, too. Chris goes up. Dave pops in later that night. Me and Chris were there talking. Chappelle comes in. We said, you going up? He said, yeah. Me and Chris go downstairs so we can watch Dave. Keep in mind, me and Chris are excited. We just worked on the material. Right. Chris gave me some good beats. He went on. I gave him some good beats. Dave went on stage. It was so good, right, that me and Chris just took what we had. We balled it up. Threw it away. We threw it away. Robin, we threw it in the trash. We threw it. I said, I'm so disgusted with where my level of thinking was after seeing where Dave was. I got to go back in the gym.
When I watched the 2 hours that Chappelle put out on Netflix and Louis C.K.'s hour on Netflix,
another great movie.
I said, holy fuck, I got to rethink everything I do. Like, it literally was like it changes on a dime. Like, you know, yeah, like Chappelle, he just doesn't even appear to be doing stand-up.
It comes off as conversation. It comes off as conversation. I mean, but that's the beauty of comedy. So when you talk about my process, the reason why I go back to ground zero, because I don't ever want to lose touch with reality. I don't ever want to lose that connection with my fans.
But how do you keep reality when you're this wealthy, you're this successful? And, you know, they say, like, oh, God, it's so, like, Eddie Murphy, I think, said to you, if I have the story right, he was like, yeah, I haven't been in a store in a long time. Like, in other words, he admits.
Like, he doesn't even know what people do.
Eddie's whole thing, the greatest comparison that Eddie gave me, he said, dude, with stand-up, he said, it's like getting in a pool that's real cold. He said, I can swim. He said, I love to swim. He said, but that water is so cold. Every time I put my toe in it, I go, no, I ain't getting in there.
Right.
Because I don't want to get in that water because it's going to be too cold. Yeah. Once I get in, I'll be fine. But it's the initial jump and be okay.
Yeah, what I think is what is eerie, and I feel for Eddie Murphy in this case. I think Eddie was one of the best at it that ever lived. Yeah. And I think he's got so much to live up to that at this point he's like, I don't want to fuck my legacy up with that stuff.
And I understand. I understand where it's coming from. I mean, you got to understand how old Eddie was. When I use the term comedic rock star, I'm thinking about where Eddie Murphy was.
Right.
Eddie Murphy was the first comedian to make stand-up comedy look like a rock and roll environment. No shirt, a leather outfit. I'm telling jokes.
I know.
So for me now to take that, I'm taking that cadence, that essence, and that's what I'm applying. Yes, it's a stadium. Yes, it's 50,000 people, but I'm trying to make that rock and roll comparison.
But are you afraid it can paralyze your own success? Like you start to overthink everything. Like what the beauty of you is, you know,
paralysis analysis.
Well, yeah, you went from shoe salesman, the funny shoe salesman who goes out and tries stand-up comedy. There's a freedom there. You know, you can bomb, you can this and that. As you get more and more successful, as you say, create this big brand, and you special. Every time you start out again, you go, shit, can I do it again? Can I make my fans that happy?
But I think that's the beauty. That's the beauty of competing with yourself. You know, it's constantly taking a challenge to reinvent you. Like when that hour dies, it dies. It's dead to me. So when I go back to comedy clubs and I'm performing in front of 30 people that had no idea I would show up, 50 people that had no idea it would come, 75 people, 125 people. I do that for so long until I get a comfortability within the new material that I'm ready to do.
How much of your life, though, is devoted to, I mean, you've got a family, you know, you got a wife, you got everything that keeps you busy, and your business and all that, movies. Don't you need a tremendous amount of time to devote to stand-up? Like, in some ways, at some point, it's going to take up, it just takes up your whole life.
You binge it, and then you take a break. So I'll go, when I say binge, I'll go a week, right? And I'll come to New York for a week. And in that week, my goal is to do 45 sets.
Wow.
So I can go on stage 5 times, 6 times a night in New York, right? And I'll say, for that week, I'm doing that. And then after that, I'm home for the next week and a half. But in that week, I got about a good 10 minutes that I'm happy about from that week. So then next week, it's about building another 10 minutes on that 10 minutes.
And what do you do? You hold that 10 minutes in your head and you just kind of keep going over it? Like
I have a writing team that I work with. My guy Harry and Jody have been with me for years. They take notes on everything I'm saying. We know what I like, what I don't. Within those bullet points, I expand on the stuff that I put stars next to. So next time I go back, where my stars at? All right, guys, I'm only talking about these 3 things, so we're going to expand on these. Let's keep the points that we laughed at, and we tape it. And I go back and I do homework.
It's almost like you're writing a book each time.
Pretty much.
I mean, it is a crazy business. And I would think that even being married and outside influences, it's almost like you got to stay in that tunnel. It's almost like it's a young man, single man's, job.
But you know the beauty, how the beauty of marriage and experiences. That's when you're pulling the material from.
Right.
So when you become a victim of your own success and you don't get out, you don't go out, you no longer have engagement. You no longer know what's going on in the world. So I get out. I'm out. I'm in the streets. I'm in restaurants. We're walking. We're in the parks. I'm doing bike rides. I'm doing the family trips.
Forces you to get out.
Yes, you get out because I have nothing to talk about if I have nothing to see.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you know what I wonder, because when Seinfeld had that incredible success with his TV show, when he wanted to go back to stand up, he would walk into the club and get a standing ovation.
Yes.
He hadn't even said anything.
Yes, you do get a cheat factor. That's why you have to put yourself in the worst situations in the beginning. Like 1 a.m. when you know the crowd's beat up. Yeah. That's when you go. You don't go on the prime time slots because they're going to give you so much love and attention. You got to go when it's a little tougher. That's when you can test the material.
Is bombing the worst feeling in the world?
Bombing's the best feeling in the world at this position because you know that you're not being cheated. Like when I'm bombing, okay, they're being honest. This isn't good. You need that. You need to be able to check yourself. This may not be good. Okay.
What about these comics who say they love to bomb purposely because then they win the audience back? Like it's almost a game they play. You buy into that?
I don't buy into that. I mean, I don't think nobody goes on stage with the intent to not do good. Yeah. If you do, I don't understand why you're in that business. We're in a business where we're performing. Ultimately, we're doing what we're doing to get laughs. Now, granted, if these things aren't going over, then we have to reconfigure, reshape, and mold to make it. I guess you would say to make it simplistic, but yet visionary, to where the audience goes, "Oh my God, I get that. I relate to that."
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm trying to be universal.
What did you make of this whole Kathy Griffin thing? I was talking about it this morning. I don't know if you heard me, but I was saying, you know what? Okay, she's pissed off politically. She wants to make a statement with the Trump head. I realize it bombed. It didn't really go over. All right, she apologized without the makeup. I guess when you don't put makeup on, it shows your sincerity. But like. I said, with all the fucking apologies.
Yeah, I mean, listen. There's a gift and a curse that people don't understand. Okay, when things go viral, you can change that word to a virus. And this is what you have to understand. Just take responsibility for your actions. Okay, It was a bad joke. That's it. That's it. You put it out there. It wasn't received the way that you thought it would be. Social media now has turned into this big frenzy, and now you're going and putting yourself in a position to look worse than it already did. It's a bad joke.
Yeah.
You thought it would be funny. If it wasn't funny, that's it. Funny.
I thought the same with Bill Maher, in the sense that, okay, use the N-word. White guys using the N-word. It just doesn't fucking work out. Stay away from it.
But on Bill Maher's side, I've seen Bill Maher come to aid for black people on a numerous amount of occasions.
Me too.
I know that Bill Maher is not a racist, but Bill Maher is also a very smart, intelligent guy. Right. You don't say that on your platform. That's just at that point, that's just stupid. So the flack that you're going to get from that, it's going to be negative. You put yourself in that bad position. So yeah, you're going to apologize because you have to.
Right.